Breaking tonight, the 29-year-old socialist from Queens, the woman considered the brightest star in the Democratic Party, refusing to call a murderous, brutal dictator for what he is, a murderous, brutal dictator. When asked today whether Venezuela's notorious Nicolas Maduro is a dictator, she refuses to label him as such, saying, and I quote, "So I think this is absolutely a complex issue. I think it's important that we approach this very carefully." Excuse me? You think it's a complex issue? I mean, shouldn't your answer be yes? I totally denounce that regime and the horror it has put its people through. But then she just doubles down and gets even worse here. I quote, "I am very concerned about U.S. interventions in Venezuela, and I oppose it, especially when we talk about a figure like U.S. Special Envoy Elliot Abrams here. You know I am generally opposed to U.S. interventions as a principle, but particularly under this administration and under his leadership, I think it's a profound mistake." Whoa, okay, so there's a lot to unpack here. Wow. And yes, I get it. The Democrats want to blame this administration for absolutely everything, even the things that are going well. I mean, somehow the humanitarian aid, food and medicine that we're offering is intervention. Helping people to eat is a kind of military intervention. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she's supposed to be for human rights, right? She ought to be asking, what more can we do? How do we help? You know, I recently gave her the benefit of the doubt. I commended her for not siding with Bernie Sanders because he was refusing to label Nicolas Maduro a dictator. So much for trying to encourage people to do the right thing, right? The unfortunate truth is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Bernie Sanders and any other socialists that refuse to denounce the brutal dictatorship of Nicolas Maduro for what it is, they are afraid. They are just too afraid that Venezuela is making socialism look bad. If she were smart, and I don't believe she is, but if she were smart, she would have answered that reporter by saying Maduro does run a brutal dictatorship. Because right now she's coming across as someone who is nothing but ignorant on a major humanitarian crisis 3 hours from our border. Joining me right now, former Trump 2016 campaign manager Corey Lewandowski. Good to see you. I think that this is going to be their downfall. I mean, you look at what's going on, and Corey, we saw Juan Guaido really get a hero's welcome home in the streets of Caracas today. People were lined up by the thousands to greet him. And the reason they are there to greet him is because he represents freedom. He represents hope. He represents a chance at being able to find your own destiny in life. Nicolas Maduro doesn't allow any of that. And what does she do? She refuses to label Nicolas Maduro for what he is. Is this going to be to the Republicans' benefits in 2020?
Well, Trish, this is the second time now we've seen since this Congress that a Democrat elected official has refused to call out a brutal dictator. Today with AOC, and previously when we saw that Bashar al-Assad was not called out as a brutal dictator that he is in Syria. And they said we have to look at this. This is what is wrong with the Democratic Party. Whether it's Bernie Sanders or it's her, they want socialism to exist. And don't forget what she said. Capitalism did not always exist in the world and will not always exist. We are the greatest nation in the history of the planet. What we have here is the greatest that other countries aspire to be. And this administration, the Trump-Pence administration, has led the effort to have Maduro removed. They brought 50 countries to the table that we have sent enormous amounts of humanitarian aid down there to help the people of Venezuela get rid of a brutal dictator. And to see just how out of line she is today, she should likely be sanctioned by the members of Congress of the Democratic Party for being so out of touch of not supporting the support that this administration is putting forth.
Listen, you know, Corey, Nicolas Maduro is a pretty bad guy, and we know that in part because a lot of the people that have been on this show have been subject to his horror, including someone who was imprisoned because he dared to think differently. If you're part of the opposition in a country like that, in a dictatorship like that, that is trying to run a socialist economy, you don't have a shot. And we've seen person after person that's been challenged. Just the average wage of $3 a month. you can't live like that. And this is a country that's right here in our Western Hemisphere. So the Democrats don't want to give him an inch. But this is one, Corey, that I think the President of the United States of America could have a major victory on and could really influence the world in hugely positive ways for decades to come. This is the potential for Latin America and the socialist movement there that the Cubans have been so active in could be entirely unraveled. And yet she doesn't want that.
Trish, your show has been the one out of all of them and have highlighted the problems in Venezuela for so long. You having the people on to talk about the Maduro regime and what he's actually like as a brutal dictator has shed light on this. And I know that Vice President Pence and President Trump have been the ones leading the effort to bring change to Venezuela, and we now have 50 countries from around the world recognizing the true leader of Venezuela and asking Maduro to step down. While he still controls the military, his people are revolting because they can't get the help that they need. This will not last, and it will be because of the leadership of people like you and this administration who are going to bring change to Venezuela permanently.
Well, what about all those false narratives that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is trying to spin and Bernie Sanders is trying to spin and Ilhan Omar, and we're going to get to her a little bit later, too, in the show. They are all trying to spin.
Well, yeah, but Trish, they're so out of touch with what the mainstream reality is in this country. People love capitalism. People come here for the opportunity to make themselves better. Nobody is coming to this country saying, I want the United States to be a socialist country. People want to flee Venezuela. People want to, from the United States, want to help the people of Venezuela so that they can be better. And what scares the Democrats to death is once socialism is once again defeated in Venezuela, the crack of capitalism comes through and the country flourishes. That's what this administration is supporting, and that's what the American people are supporting.
It will be, because I'm convinced, Corey, it will happen. It will be a major, major accomplishment for President Trump and Vice President Pence, and I look forward to it. Thank you so much, Corey Lewandowski. It's good to see you.